What if I told you that one of the most influential voices in gaming finally spoke up after years of total silence, right as his former studio walks straight into controversy, and the most anticipated game of the decade inches closer to a reveal that could shake the entire industry? Yeah, the timing isn't accidental, and the story behind all of this is much deeper, quieter, and way stranger than it looks on the surface. For years, people have been asking the same question: what really happened between Dan Houser and Rockstar Games? The man who shaped the tone, attitude, and storytelling of almost every Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead title basically vanished until now. And what he finally said doesn't just answer a few questions, it opens the door to new ones that Rockstar probably wishes weren't being asked right before launch. But the thing is, Dan speaking out is just one part of a bigger picture. Behind the scenes, Rockstar is dealing with the kind of internal tension they don't usually show. Firings, accusations, speculation about union busting, dev teams raising concerns, and the studio trying to hold everything together while finishing the biggest game they've ever attempted. And that would be enough drama for most companies, but not Rockstar. Not the studio carrying Grand Theft Auto 6. Not the team staring down the final stretch before the world expects the next trailer, next reveal, next confirmation that this game is everything the last decade has been building toward. So today we're digging into all of it. Dan Houser finally breaking silence, the turmoil inside Rockstar, why the industry might be shifting away from the kind of game he loved making, and how all of this connects to Take-Two's upcoming earnings call, the moment many fans believe will bring the long-awaited Trailer 3. If you think you know the full story, you probably don't. Not yet. When a writer leaves a studio, you usually hear about it through a press release, a couple tweets, maybe a goodbye statement that feels half corporate and half personal. But when Dan Houser left Rockstar, it wasn't a goodbye, it was a disappearance. A fade to black with zero commentary, almost like someone unplugged the main storyteller of one of the biggest franchises on Earth and walked away without leaving a trace. And the silence was loud. Fans were confused, worried, curious. People wondered if it was burnout, conflict, internal drama, creative differences, or something else entirely. Years passed without a real answer, until now. Dan sat down for a long, calm, surprisingly open conversation on the Lex Fridman podcast, his first real public talk in years, and right away, he dropped the one line fans were terrified to hear. He had no involvement in GTA C's story. Not a line of dialogue, not a character, not a piece of narrative structure, nothing. And he didn't sugarcoat it either. He said the world had probably had enough GTA from him after writing the last 10 or 11 of them, which is wild because for an entire generation of gamers, his writing wasn't part of GTA, it was GTA. He was the tone.